Good morning, Katie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good. Looking forward to Christmas break, so I am good.
Yes.
I love that background. San Francisco is one of my favorite cities, so cool background.
Thank you.
Um, since we're recording this, could you say your full name and what year you graduated from Briarwood?
Yeah, my name is Katie Zivley and I graduated Briarwood in 2020.
In 2020, the COVID year,
Yes.
2020. And so that means you were under the mask and all the other goodies that came with COVID.
Yes.
Okay. And so when you started college, we were still in the midst of COVID
Yes.
protocols.
Yes. I definitely started college with going to class with masks on, and I think we had some Zoom classes as well. So it was a little hybrid.
Okay, little hybrid. So tell us, what college did you choose and what major?
So I chose Lynn University in Boca Raton, Florida. And so I actually went in with a graphic design major, and I actually changed my major, I think twice. I went from graphic design to visual art and design, and then finally to multimedia journalism, which is a little different. But I'm glad that I eventually found what major worked best for me. So multimedia journalism.
Okay. And so what do you do with a multimedia journalism degree? What does that all entail?
So there's lots of different areas in that category, I guess. So obviously there's the journalism aspect, writing articles. There's also broadcasting and using social platforms to get your message across. So there's different aspects. I've been a part of broadcasting, writing articles, which would be the print side, and there's also the podcast side. I haven't done much of that, but it's been kind of using different platforms to get your message across.
Okay, so social media, Facebook, Instagram, or whatever its
Mhm.
new name is, etc.
Yes.
Okay. And so what do you plan on doing with that degree now that you're getting ready to graduate?
I'm actually still trying to figure that out, but I am leaning towards something with copywriting or proofreading, something that aspect. I think that I would essentially like to work with a magazine company of some kind. So I'm still trying to figure that out and where I would like to be, but I'm leaning towards writing articles, proofreading, copywriting. Yeah.
Mhm. So what made you choose Lynn University?
So the main reason I chose Lynn was because of the small size of classes, the small size school, of course, and the IAL program, which stands for Institute for Achievement and Learning. So I've really enjoyed being a part of this program at Lynn because it has helped me stay focused with each of my assignments. And so it's kind of you choose the package that works best for you, but basically it includes tutoring, an academic coach, which has been very helpful. I actually still have one this year, and she's been helping me with just job searching in general. So that's been very helpful. But there's really great tutors available there um, every day. So it's been very helpful to go there if I'm ever having trouble with the class or need some assistance with that. So it's been very helpful for me.
So they're your learning support program.
Yes.
Do they
Yes.
provide, I know many students get readers, note takers, writing help. Does it have a writing center as a part of it, or is that is the writing center a part of the library?
So there is a writing center, and there are, depending on what your accommodations, well, you get your accommodations according to what works best for you. So I had an extended time, and I think that's the only one I actually really used the most. But having the extended time was nice just in case, so I didn't really want to feel rushed. So having the extended time really worked out for me. But just having someone to talk to, the academic coach weekly, was very nice to have them assist me. And if I had any concerns, I could talk to them. Um, and they were very nice.
Are they when you say coach, are they a coach or are they a counselor or kind of do a little bit of both? So is it all academic or is it some social emotional part as well?
It's a little bit of both. I'm really glad with who I was assigned, and she definitely helped me my freshman year because that was obviously adjusting from high school to college was a little difficult, but she really helped me get through that and was there for me. So I really appreciated that.
That's good. On average, how many classes did you take? Is it semester or quarter system?
We do a block system, but
Okay.
it's technically, I guess, per semester. So I think per semester it's around 5 classes, but we are in a block system, which means that for 4 weeks, you are focused on 1 to 2 classes total, which is easier and better to focus on instead of focusing on 5 classes at once.
Mm-hmm.
So the most you can take is 2 classes for each block. So it's a better system in my opinion. I mean I went into college with that system, but um I think it's been very helpful.
Okay, so how often are you in class if you're taking two per block?
So it's usually 2.5 hours, but some
One
classes
day a
are
week or
um usually 4 days a week.
so
But
one
it's
class 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday, let's say, for
mhm.
2.5 hours each day.
Yes, I mean there are some classes that won't go entirely for 2.5 hours, but it's the equivalent of a week's worth of class technically. So
Mm-hmm.
it's technically really like 2 hours
Mm-hmm.
around, but it just depends.
Okay. Um, and so there's how many blocks per semester?
There are 4.
4 blocks per semester. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, so I see where you're getting the same amount. Okay, that makes sense.
Mhm.
Um, Tell me a little bit about Lynn, Boca Raton. I got to visit you this summer and I fell in love with Boca Raton. But I was looking at truly as a tourist. But so as a student, what drew you to Boca Raton? What can you do there in Boca Raton? Tell us a little bit about the environment of Lynn. What do people do for fun?
Yeah, so there's lots of things to do. Lots of people go to the beach. That's like their home. They go to class and afterwards they'll go to the beach. So the beach is obviously a very important one, I guess. Um, but there's obviously activities on campus. Um there's student activities, there are clubs that you can join. Um, that are becoming more aware to students now. Um, so there's events on campus every day. So there's always an opportunity to get involved. Even if you just want to go for 30 minutes or an hour, there's always going to be some kind of social event to meet other students. So that's obviously been a great uh,
Resource for you because
resource.
yeah, you're so far.
Um, Yeah, especially if you don't really have any plans that day, it's a great opportunity. So you also don't have to leave campus. So having on-campus activities are great. Um, I would say off campus there's Meisner Park. Um, it's an area for shopping, restaurants, and I think there's a park there as well,
Mhm.
and amphitheater. But there's also I think that will, most people stay on campus. There's lots of activities that are highlighted on social media, and that's what draws students in. So there's lots of events that are happening on campus that students would like to go to.
Okay. Intramural sports, or do you guys have both intramural and the other sports on campus?
Yeah, so we have both. We don't have a football team.
Okay.
But we have lacrosse, swim, tennis, golf, soccer, softball, baseball, and so on. We have lots of sports, lots of opportunities to go see games with friends. So that's always a good thing. There's lots of clubs. They're definitely expanding. Lots of clubs that are coming out and great opportunities to get involved and even be on, the leadership board and learn more about that specific club and that industry. So it's been great.
I know that you lived on campus your first year there. Are the dorms where you have your own room? Is it where you share a room, or do they have a variety of choices?
So there's a variety of choices. My freshman year, I was in one of the dorms, and it was a shared room with my roommate at the time. Um, and obviously a shared bathroom. And then I actually was on campus. I lived on campus for my 3 years there. So I got the gist of what it's like to be living on campus. So it's changed a little bit. My sophomore year, actually I was in a 4 bedroom townhouse on campus. So we each had our own bedroom, but we shared, the bathroom and the kitchen area. So that was a little bit nicer, to have your own space.
Hmm.
And then my junior year, they came out with these apartments on campus. So it was me and another roommate, and we had our own rooms, and it was there's more kitchen going on, I guess.
Hmm.
There's, more
Like a
opportunities to actually,
typical apartment kind of.
yeah, more opportunities to actually cook and bake and all that stuff. So, um, it was a good transition.
Okay, so it sounds like you transitioned a little differently every year, but all
Yeah.
still on campus.
Hmm.
Okay. Um, I wanted to ask, I know when I was there, my tour guide mentioned that you had started like a tennis club. Is that true?
That is true. I think that was my sophomore year. I was wanting to play tennis, and with all the schedules, everyone has different schedules. People have 8 a.m.s, people have 3 p.m.s, people have 12 p.m.s. It's all over the place. So it's hard to kind of um, play tennis or set a schedule with someone. So I decided to there used to be a tennis club, and it was um not there for a while. So I decided to bring it back together and get some friends to help with that creation, I guess. And so I wanted to have it be a place for students to come together, play tennis, get to know each other. So I was very happy to bring that together, and it was a great leadership opportunity for me. Even though it was just mainly playing tennis and getting to know each other, it was a good experience figuring out all the logistics and putting it all together.
That's
So,
cool.
yeah.
Um, I was very surprised because you didn't tell me this, but when I was on campus, I got a droid passed by with the copy of a magazine or newspaper, and I was surprised one of all the droids that are on campus. I know there's a lot of technology there at Lynn. It's an Apple campus, correct? So every student gets an iPad, I believe, freshman year.
Mhm. Yes.
Okay. But yes, this Android thing passed by me. And so I got the newspaper, and lo and behold, I saw your name in it. So tell us a little bit about what you were doing with the paper.
Yeah, so the student newspaper, it's called iPulse, and so it's obviously a student-run newspaper. And so I technically started as a required class that was called Applied Media, which you get to pick print, broadcast, or podcast. So I chose the print side, and so I did a little bit of writing, and eventually I got more involved my junior year and my senior year now. But it's been a really great opportunity. So basically, um, it's treated as We meet every Friday in your specific groups. And so for the print side, we come to class with 3 pitch ideas. So we'll pitch our ideas. And the nice thing that I really enjoy about iPulse is that other students will help you with, if you don't have an idea or if you're struggling to come up with an idea, someone will help recommend something to you, which has always been very helpful. Instead of giving you a hard time, they're always very nice. And that's been one of my favorite things, just having a good community to bounce ideas off of. So, anyways, so I eventually decided to get involved with the editorial team. So I was the managing editor last year, and I really enjoyed that experience, just learning from the editor-in-chief and learning from the professor in charge and everyone a part of it. And then I decided to go up to editor-in-chief this year. So it's me and another student. So we're both the co-editors in chief. And so I've really enjoyed that as well so far. It's been going great. And having the opportunity to go in and talk with other members of iPulse and just learning how to, edit articles and proofreading and going through, and the whole editing process has been very interesting to me, and it's been a great opportunity.
Sounds like
So
very hands-on. I like that.
yeah, it's
In the
been
midst of it. Yes,
yeah, it's been a really great experience just having hands-on the hands-on experience.
right.
But it's been great just learning from professors and learning from each side, the podcast, broadcast, and print, and how it all works.
Mm-hmm.
So
I love that.
it's been good.
Tell me, I know parents that may watch this want to know academically, how much studying are you doing in comparison to high school, um, assignments, that kind of thing? If you can briefly tell me since you're doing 2 classes per block, how much homework would you say or assignments are you getting in study time?
So it usually depends on the class, but usually it's there's there's usually about 1 to 2 assignments, mainly 1 assignment per day. But usually you'll do the assignments in class, like the professor will go over the homework with you, which is helpful. So if I'm confused, they'll go over it, and you can also ask them more clarification on it. So basically I think it gets more, there's more homework that comes up towards the end of the block, which
Mhm.
is more understandable. But I think throughout the course, it's pretty normal workflow, not too difficult. And if it does get difficult, I always feel comfortable to reach out to the professor and ask him or her um, for assistance, or I can just go to get tutoring as well. So I would say I wouldn't say it's too much or too little. I think it's right in the middle.
Okay. Um, you said something that made me think of something else. Oh, um, with the grading system, oh, do you have syllabuses just like you would in,
Mhm.
okay. So you
Yes.
get that every block, you get new
Mhm.
syllabuses and so forth.
Yes.
Um, have you been able to find a calendaring system to keep things organized? What are you using as your time management go-to? What keeps you remembering your assignments, turning things on time, etc.?
Mhm. Yeah, so part of so we have something called Canvas.
Mhm.
And so that's where all of our assignments are for each class. So a part of the Canvas software, there's a calendar um section, I guess. So when you click on the calendar, your assignments, quizzes, and all the things that you have to do automatically are included into the calendar, which is very helpful. So you don't have to put them in individually. So Even in the beginning of one week, I'll go to my calendar and I'll see, okay, I have a quiz on Thursday, so I need to prepare for that beforehand. So I use that system mainly, and I'll use just my calendar on my phone to just remind me of any appointments or meetings. And yeah.
Okay. How many students would you say are in each of your classes? What's the average at Lynn per class?
I would say around 15.
Okay.
It I don't think I've been in a class larger than 20.
Okay.
So it's been nice, not too many, not too little. So and as you go through college, since it's a smaller school, you will see familiar faces, which is kind of helpful because you'll see students within your major that maybe you just saw last block or last year. So it's kind of nice to see familiar faces. Um, yeah.
What's the student body? Um, it's what, around 11 or 1200 students total?
Actually it's between, I think it's 3,000,
Okay, 3000.
around 3,000. Yeah.
Okay. So much bigger than Shriner. Uh,
Yes.
definitely a nicer beach.
Yeah.
Um, so tutoring, the program, the learning support program, is it an additional cost on top of tuition at Lynn?
Yes, it is. But the nice thing is that you get to choose your package. So there's very specific elements. So it's not just one full cost. You can choose just the tutoring or just the academic advisor or both. So sometimes I will do a little bit of both and make sure that I will actually be using it before I pay for that, obviously. So I kind of figure out beforehand how much tutoring I'm assuming that I will need. And I do a little bit more just in case, so there's a class that's difficult. But yeah, so there's different packages that they can help you with, help you decide with. But yeah,
Okay. Are you graduating in May or December?
May.
In May.
Yes.
Okay. And you're not sure if you're coming back to Houston or not?
I'm not sure where I'm going to be, but I will let you know.
Okay. I know when I was there this summer, you were like, New York, I don't know, stay in Florida. So
Yeah.
lots of decisions coming up, but you're almost there. That's
Yes.
so exciting. Um,
Mhm.
is there anything else you can share that I may not have asked about academics or Boca Raton or just anything that I may not have asked?
I would just say some advice in a very positive way. No, nothing negative. I would just say that when you join college, you should definitely get involved earlier on. I didn't want to get involved, and I feel like I lost some time where I could have been getting out there and, learning from others and meeting others.
Mhm.
So I think no matter what, even if you're feeling like you don't want to be social, I feel like you should push yourself just at least a little bit, stay for an event for maybe 10 or 20 minutes at least. Um, because it'll be worth it. You might meet some people that you probably would not have met if you hadn't gone out. So I think that even just for me, I think my freshman year, I spent some time not going out, not getting out and going to student events or activities on campus. And I wish I had just to meet more people. So I guess that's my advice to all the students.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's why so many schools are now making freshmen stay on campus for them to get
Yes.
involved. I agree with you.
Hmm.
Okay. Um, Katie, thank you so much for being available and for recording this with me today. Like I said, I know that you can't be here for our alumni panel, but I appreciate the opportunity to get you in our newsletter and just share about Lynn. I was very impressed with Lynn when I got there. And of course, being a West Coast girl, being on the Pacific Ocean, it was nice being on that side of the world and seeing blue waters again. And uh,
Yes.
I stayed in Boca for 2 or 3 days, so it was absolutely beautiful. Um,
Hmm.
but anyway, I wish you the best. Again, I say thank you. Briarwood misses you. I've had several teachers saying, oh, I'm going to be on Zoom with Katie today, and they all were wishing you the best and couldn't believe you're getting ready to graduate. So time
Thank
flies.
you.
But thank you again.
Thank you.